This conference will now be recorded.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the Nacogdoches Chamber Stakeholder Conference Call, and I'm Kelly Augustine. I get to work here at the Nacogdoches County Chamber along with some other folks on this call. We are really happy to have a special guest, Jeff Abt, with us today, and I'm going to get to his introduction in just a moment. As you just heard, we are going to record this session. We will have it available later on the Chamber's YouTube channel. You can check out the library of all of our past calls there as well. We have invited our media partners to join us today, so glad to see them on the call. And we look forward to hearing from our community partners, our stakeholders that have been invited to report. And if we have time, if someone has a major announcement, we might be open to that too, if time allows. So with that, I would like to proceed with the subject, our featured speaker, Jeff Abt. I don't know if he has an official title because I know he does so much, it may be too long for me to list here. I can tell you from personal experience and from what I heard from the community, Jeff has a place everywhere in Nacogdoches. Has been very involved in SFA in different ways. He has been involved in our Daily Sentinel news media source. I've been in his house because he's been on the tour of homes. I've seen what he's done in our gardens. There are other events I know that he's had a hand in and helped work on in Nacogdoches. And probably the best way to say this is something I heard from someone else who said, Jeff Abt is the man behind the scenes in everything Nacogdoches, and we just don't realize it. So I'm thrilled that he's here with us today. I know he's got a specific subject he's going to speak to, but I think he's going to be able to give us a lot of good information about the town we love, this area, Nacogdoches. Good morning, Jeff, and welcome to the call. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Kelly. I've been tasked to give a bit of news about another public sculpture coming to Nacogdoches. You may be aware of there's several sculptures around the town. And I'm part of an organization called Friends of Historic Nacogdoches Incorporated, and we've been putting up public sculptures for a good long time now. We began, maybe in the 1990s, somewhere in there, with the first sculpture of Gil Antonio Ibarbo. And if you see that graphic there on the right, he's the second person over. He was the founder of modern Nacogdoches, a Spaniard. And in those days, there was a geopolitical conflict between Spain and France, and everybody wanted to lay claim on Nacogdoches. And the Spaniards were the first there in many ways. And that's when he came to Nacogdoches and was really the founder of modern Nacogdoches as we know it. So that was our first statue a long time ago. And I'm going to just kind of go through the whole idea of public sculptures, first of all. One of the things they do is they are a 24, hours a day, 7 days a week kind of a technology to tell a story. Now, it's an old technology. Public sculptures are, you go to Rome and there's a lot of public sculptures there. So this is just a way to tell the story. My organization that I'm a part of, Friends of Historic Nacogdoches, this is just one way we have latched on to tell the story of the oldest town in Texas. And in many ways, in telling the story, we point not only to the past, but to the future. So if you look at that graphic there, you'll see with Antonio Ibarbo, and then you have George Crockett to his, as you look at the series there, is a churchman. So we have a politician from Spain, a churchman who was the founder of the Episcopal Church here in Nacogdoches. And if you go start working your way to the left, you see Dietrich Rolf, he was the architect. And then there's just different heroes or cultural heroes of Nacogdoches, and you don't see them all there. But if you want to have a friend and you want to take them around Nacogdoches, one of the things you might do is, I don't know if you can see this, these are at the CVB, the statue trail. You can take them around, see each statue, and go over there and have your picture made with these fellows. So that's the idea. We want to tell the story of Nacogdoches. And one of the stories we would like to tell is that Nacogdoches has always been, to some extent, a place where for educators. This was a teachers. SFA was originally a teachers college, and so we have a long history in the area of education. And I would say, maybe for at least 8 years, we've been thought about producing a statue in honor of the educators of Nacogdoches. And what we've usually done, and we've picked out one educator or one churchman, or each statue kind of has a definite focus. And so the coming statue, and you'd put it on your calendar, is a statue here by about E.J. Campbell. E.J. Campbell was a beloved educator in Nacogdoches. He shepherded the segregated schools back in the days of segregation. It was a difficult job, but he was part of the great work of educating young African-American students. And he was beloved all across Nacogdoches, but it was a difficult day, and he took hold of it. And if you know anything about his history, and that's what we are doing here, we built a statue to him, and his history will be there on a permanent plaque. But he is in some ways honoring all of our educators, and that's why we picked him out today. And just put it on your calendar. The dedication of that statue will be October 19th at 11 a.m. It's a Saturday morning. And some of you may ask, where is that statue going to be? The statue will be on Mound Street on Washington Square. Our idea way back was to try to get, there'll be statues, of course, downtown. There are statues downtown, different parts, but our aim has been that there would be a corridor down the middle of Nacogdoches on Mound Street, and that it would be dotted with statues and our history. So there would be people walking on foot between SFA and downtown Nacogdoches would have this presented to them. So that's the idea. And I'm hoping people will enjoy this one of E.J. Campbell. And I'll just tell you part of the concept. It will be E.J. Campbell there with a young student. You remember the old-fashioned school desk with a little circle where you could put your ink well there? Any of y'all old enough to do that? They have Chromebooks now. No ink wells in the desk. But there's a little boy sitting by one of those old-fashioned desks, and E.J. Campbell the book is opened on the little boy's desk, and he's holding a globe out like this to the little boy to see the globe. And our idea was that E.J. Campbell, in educating people, gave them the world. And that's what education does. It gives them access to the great wide world. So that statue's coming. It'll be kind of a two-person statue there. And before I don't know how much time I have left. I need to look, where's this clock on this computer? Anyway, Kelly, will you just send out a hook and say that's finished? Please cut it off. Okay.
Keep going, keep going.
You know, the shepherd's hook pulls me off. Okay. These statues are expensive. Now, let me just give you an idea of that. The first statue of Gil Antonio Ibarbo cost $37,000 total. The last statue that was installed was the Storytellers across from the Fredonia Hotel. Any of y'all aware of that statue? Anybody? I hope so. The total cost of that project was $500,000. Think prices. If anybody tells you there's no such thing as inflation, we went from $37,000 to a lot of money. This statue will probably come in around $300,000. So it takes my breath away. In fact, even saying those words, I sigh to myself and think, oh, what have we gotten ourselves into? But we think these statues, they will be there for generations, and people will see these public figures and learn a bit about our cultural heroes. And so that's our goal. So I'm on there. If I don't know about your organizations that you're a part of or you individually, but there is a way to give to this project. And the nice thing about it, when you give that project forever, there'll be a plaque there of those that have supported it. And so you'll get to see your name will be there for forever, you know. One day I may have a gravestone somewhere and they'll read my name, but I get to see this before my name, you know, in bronze at a statue. So there you go. And if you'd like to give it, you get in touch. These are here at the chamber. And just one last little thing. I don't know if you could see it. Can anybody see that? You see the picture of the man there? That's Cleo Jenkins. He's part of the committee that's picked out the statue. The artist of the statue is Joel Turner, is the artist, and Cleo's there standing where the statue will be. It's not going to be like, oh, Cleo standing there like he's going to get shot in front of a firing squad, but it's going to be this little boy and E.J. Campbell. But that's where it'll be, with the old university building behind him, and he will be our educator. So I don't know what else to say to you. Anybody have questions? No question?
Yeah, I have to say you did a great job. He let me know he prefers doing things in person, but I think you did a great job talking about the statue. This is one of those things I could listen to all day long, just seeing the graphic that we put up first and reminding me of the other statues on this trail. I think we should all take a minute, like you said, especially when we have guests coming in or just our families and friends, to actually walk this trail. I'm sure Ashley wouldn't mind us starting there at the visitor center and going from that point, right? I know that the storyteller statue you brought up near the Fredonia Hotel is an interactive one. Is this going to have any type of interactive aspects to it, or a way for folks to understand more of what Mr. Campbell did in education?
Well, there will of course be a history there, and it'll look like a state historical marker. But at this point, all of these statues are on our website. And so our goal is to put all, people can go from statue to statue and go to the website. It'll be interactive like that. And the storytellers, you could actually go to the website and hear these men telling stories about Nacogdoches. But it may not all be as elaborate as that. So.
Great, but I'm glad you brought up the resource that you have available so folks can get more information. Yeah. That's wonderful. And hey, I'm going to say it, they make great photo ops. I mean,
they
this
do.
is a wonderful way.
They do. Yeah. If you go to the storytellers, you can sit down there with Ab Abernathy, Bob Murphy, Charles Bright, Brian Holt. That you sit right at the table with these guys. And if you want to bring your own cup of coffee, you could drink coffee with them if you want. So there's nothing like standing in front of a statue and putting your arm around, a famous person.
That's great. Did anyone have any other questions about the statues or Friends of Historic Nacogdoches for Jeff?
Doesn't anybody want to ask on how we pick out statues, who to do it? Anybody want to ask that?
I'll ask. How do you pick them?
Usually there's a constituency. Someone comes and says, and there's a lot. Do anybody know any Ibarbos in Nacogdoches County? There's a lot of Ibarbos in Nacogdoches County and east of here. And so the bunch of Ibarbos come and say, y'all love history, why don't y'all do something about our man? And so that's how it starts. And usually we'll say, well, we'd like to have a little seed money. Can you give us a little seed money and we'll start raising money? And that's usually just how it starts. The educator, we've been planning on it a long time, but then finally someone stepped up and says, okay, I hear you're going to do a statue about E.J. Campbell. And and that person gives us $10,000. He says, now start. And that's how we start. So it's really as simple as that.
Jeff,
All right.
just so I know, is this the Joel Turner who's in Colorado?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Joel Turner in Colorado. What we did was, Josh, is we made a general call for artists to put in a bid and concepts on how they would do this statue. And then we picked among those artists. And the committee had sole authority to pick out which artist it was. Now, we originally picked out an artist. They originally picked out an artist. I wasn't a voting member of the committee, but they originally picked a fellow from the Northeast somewhere, and his statue was started at as a $500,000, and we all liked him, but we couldn't afford him. But then they also liked just Joel Turner a lot, and it had two figures in it, so we thought this is even better. So that's kind of we had several meetings about picking out who the artist would be, and we love the idea that an educator would hold the world out to the student, and so that's why we picked him. He's a good guy, and by the way, he's just now finishing the bronze of that statue. They do it piece by piece, and then they weld it together and do all kinds of funny things. But I think it's almost ready to ship. It's coming. It's coming.
Jeff, could you give the time of the dedication again, please?
Yes, sir, Roy. It's 11 o'clock Saturday morning, October 19th, right there in front of the old university building, off to the side there. And we haven't, I don't know how we're going to exactly do it. We may ask the city if they'll let us close down half of the street for an hour for the dedication. So people, anyway, but that's, it's at October 19th at 11 o'clock. And we're inviting all the E.J. Campbell Alumni Association, and we hope people come from all over the state. We've asked someone come from Prairie View A&M, where E.J. Campbell was studied for a while. And so it's going to have statewide significance.
I sent you a text earlier. Did you receive it?
Oh, Roy, you're talking to a Luddite.
No, it was just a text to let you know that I supported you behind this issue.
Okay, well, I'll have to go look at. You sound like my wife there a minute. Did you see the text that I sent you? And I come in the house and I didn't. And I say, no, honey, I didn't see that. But I'm sorry, Roy, I didn't see it. But I'll go look.
Yeah, we thank you for what you're doing. You know, I'm a E.J. Campbell alumni, and all the alumni I've talked to support this issue.
Well, he was E.J. Campbell was a legend and a hero in our town. This fellow here that I showed you a while ago, Cleo Jenkins, he studied at E.J. Campbell High School. He never studied with E.J. Campbell himself, but Cleo ended up in life one of the first African-American graduates from University of Texas, went on to career his whole life working for IBM. So E.J. Campbell and that school, it's had a great impact across the state.
Yeah, I remember Cleo very well. It was him and a guy named Fogel that went to UT for engineering school back in the day.
Okay.
Well, Jeff, I want you to know Ashley Morgan has given information in our chat box so the folks can find out what you just said over there about the dedication ceremony.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Before we started this call, Jeff got to the chamber office a little early. I have to say, along with all of his other good attributes, he's a great conversationalist. I could sit down and have a coffee with Jeff Abt and have a really good conversation. He can tell some stories, let me tell you.
Well, I'm a good sleeping pill, put you right to sleep.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here. And the chamber will be happy to help promote this statue as well as the trail itself. So we'll continue to do that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. Our next person that's joining us that we'll hear from is Trey Turner with SFA. He is Associate Vice President for University Advancement. Hello, Trey.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I have to go back a second. Not a lot of people know this, but my name's Joel Turner. I'm the third. That's why I've always been called Trey. So when he starts talking about Joel Turner's going to do this sculpture, I got nervous for just a second. But I've actually looked up. I took a moment and actually looked this gentleman up online. He's got a pretty impressive website. So anyway, I'm glad it's not me, and I'm sure he'll do a much better job than I would. But I digress. Anyway, a lot of great things going on at SFA, a lot of really exciting news to report as we start the semester. I'll start off with an academic program update. Just a couple of quick points. SFA's CARRI Center, which as you will remember is the Center for Applied Research and Rural Innovation, announced a recent partnership with IPC International and the IPC Educational Foundation. IPC International is the global association that supports the electronics industry worldwide. So this collaboration addresses a problem that engineering students face after graduation, which is often a lack of practical industry knowledge and experience that is, so critical in a successful engineering career. So the partnership provides select SFA engineering faculty members a 4-day training session facilitated by individuals that work for IPC International, and it incorporates IPC's cutting-edge technology, cutting-edge industry standards, and the faculty will gain credentials necessary to offer in-class experiences that help prepare those engineering students for the manufacturing industry, an industry which they will more often than not, become a part of and get jobs in. So that's exciting to have such an international entity like IBC International associated with our engineering program here and our faculty learning from their best practices. And so we're excited to see how that partnership continues to develop. The Greg Arnold Center for Entrepreneurship and the Nelson Rushi College of Business has also got some exciting news. It was the only school in the UT system that was awarded over the course of this past summer a grant from the Texas Education Association to host almost 70 East Texas students from around East Texas from grades 6 through 10 to come up for an entrepreneurship camp. So obviously that's a recruiting tool for SFA. It gets the word out about our entrepreneurship program, which, as you know, is not only here for SFA students, but also for the region and the local community. So that's a great thing there. It'll continue to grow the prominence and prestige of that center. And, we are incredibly excited and proud of how that what we're calling the ACE, the Arnold Center for Entrepreneurship, how that will elevate the entire university, being that it's the only entrepreneurship center in Eastern Texas. So we're very proud of that, and it's doing great things. Outside of those academic updates, I would just say there are a couple of important dates moving forward. We just experienced one this past weekend. We had an incredibly successful move-in weekend. For those of you who maybe haven't been paying attention to my previous updates on this call or at Nedco, you would have known that this was move-in weekend had you gone to a grocery store or a Walmart. So it was packed, but things went incredibly smoothly. We've seen and are experiencing right now a 4% increase in occupancy versus last year. So that's a result of the larger increase that we're seeing in first-time students here at SFA. So we're happy for that. A lot of families came in, but everything went really well. Haven't heard a single negative story. So we're very, very encouraged by that. Classes began yesterday, and so far everything appears to be running smoothly and on time and on schedule. There hasn't seemed to be any major issues other than additional traffic, which I'm sure all of you have noticed. The last update with regards to important dates, I would say, would be this Thursday again is our first home game, and it's because of conference realignment that we're doing it on a Thursday night. So kickoff will be at 7 p.m. at Homer Bryce Stadium here in Nacogdoches. So hope that you'll all come out and join us for this game. Should be a pretty good one. The last thing I would say is just continuing. There's no new updates with regards to our new dining hall project, other than at various times there will still be some limited traffic flow at the intersection of Wilson and East College Drive. So be prepared for that over the coming weeks. It's intermittent, but there are times when they'll be bringing things in for that facility that requires them to shut off traffic to that area. And then we're still in the design and planning phase of what will one day be the new forestry and agricultural building that will replace the existing Arthur Temple College of Forestry and Agriculture building that sits on the corner of East College and Regate. So everything's moving forward. We're excited for the new semester. A lot of great things going on, and I'll address any questions you may have. Okay.
All right, thank you, Trey. I'm going to let Larry Kane jump in since you had that good news to share about ACE, if Larry would like to add anything to that for his area. Larry, would you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, let me just mention a couple of things going on in the Entrepreneurship Center. I'm the director of the Small Business Resource Hub, which is a part of the Arnold Center for Entrepreneurship. And once a month, we have a meetup, a very informal time at various locations around town, just for anybody interested in entrepreneurship at all, whether you're a business owner or you want to be a business owner. And our next event is tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7 at the Nine Flags Bar inside the Fredonia Hotel. And I think I said tomorrow night, but I think it's Thursday night. Better get that right. Yes, it is Thursday night. Unfortunately, the same time as the football game, but we'll end about 7 o'clock, and just love to have anybody come by and spend a few minutes talking with other business owners or prospective business owners or with us. I expect we'll have some entrepreneurship students that will be there this time. They might be brand new to town and might appreciate a conversation with some people. The other quick thing I want to announce, Kelly, is this fall in October, we're working with Nedco and several banks and with the chamber as well on putting on a course, not an SFA course, but a course on business acceleration. So if you've been in business at least 6 months and you want to expand your business or grow your business, we have a course on every Thursday night in October. I think the last one's on the 24th. There's no cost for this course, but we've done this in the past, and it's been very helpful for people that are in business and wanting to grow their business. And there's no cost for this. It'll be held at the Commercial Bank Community Room upstairs at Commercial Bank, and no cost. And we'll have some very successful panelists come and speak and answer questions and that sort of thing. And the reason I mention it now is because there's only 3 or 4 more slots available for attendees. So if you're at all interested, I would suggest you call Nedco right away. They're handling the registration. No cost, but you do have to sign up. And that's the only things I have this morning, Kelly, other than to say congratulations on your 18th anniversary at the Chamber. You've done a great job, and we look forward to many good things in the future.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I know we have reports coming from the city, but since we're in this SFA train of thought, and I see Marianne Rojas is on the call with us today, maybe she would like to expound more on what's happening at the Center for Applied Research and Rural Innovation. Good morning. Oh, you're muted, Marianne.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Kelly, so much for that introduction. And Trey, thank you so much for mentioning about IPC. That press conference was very well attended and amazing work going on with our engineering department and all that is happening in the world of industry and better preparing our students. Just wanted to add a little on some things that are coming up in the region, some really exciting things. On September 16th, we've partnered with Dat Works. I understand, I see Mark Durand is on the call, but we have partnered with them to host the Jobs Education Forum, to address workforce issues and workforce concerns with businesses, and that's going to be held in Lufkin at the Pitzer Garrison Convention Center, and that's on Monday, September 16th from 9:30 to 11:30. We also have a continuation of our rural economic development forums. Last year we were in each individual county. This year we are bringing counties together based on where they are located in the region. So on September 30th, Polk County, Trinity County, San Jacinto, and Houston County will be meeting, bringing their community leaders together and talking about and sharing ideas on a common agenda for the region in terms of workforce development, infrastructure, and those things that are so important to our rural communities. Also coming up on September 21st, Kathy Bennett with the Tyler Industrial Corporation, they will be hosting a fly-in and food truck festival in Woodville. So if you have something that you're wanting to do on September 21st, that's on a Saturday, that's going to be going on in Woodville. Also, just wanted to touch a little bit about some economic development activity in the region. A big shout out to Crockett and things that are happening in Houston County. A&A Capital, of course, last year announced new jobs coming in. They manufacture fire retardant materials that are used in the utility industry. And we were there a couple of weeks ago to attend their groundbreaking for their building. So they're building a 40,000 square foot building there in Crockett and look to employ almost 100 individuals. So we're really excited about all the work that is going on there. John Angerstein with the city has done a lot to promote that area, and it's good to see that activity going on in our, with our rural partners and in our rural counties. And that about includes my report. Never a dull moment at CARRI. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to take them.
Thank you, Mary Ann. It's exciting to see what's going on in that area. And now for the city of Nacogdoches. Let's start with our public information officer, Kevin Meyer. Hi, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, it shows you're unmuted, but I'm not hearing you. Okay, is it just me? I'm sorry, Kevin, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not hearing any sound. Okay, I heard somebody else say they cannot hear. Kevin, we'll let Ashley Morgan, our executive director of Visit Nacogdoches, speak if you don't mind, and maybe you can check your settings. Hi, Ashley.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, first I wanted to thank Jeff for an amazing presentation, and thank you and the Friends of Historic Nac for all of your hard work. I think it's no secret that the statues contribute greatly to tourism in Nacogdoches. In a destination where there's not a lot to do on Sundays and Mondays, they can always take a statue tour, even when it's blazing hot outside. They just might want to take frequent breaks, but they can always take that tour anytime, and we're really excited about this next one. I did want to remind everyone that the statue trail is also on the Visit Nac app, and each little point is it's on a Google map basically, so it'll guide you through the tour, and so you don't have to search for it. If you're terrible at maps like I am, it tells you how to do it. So moving on, I did want to brag on my team a little bit. We attended the Texas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureau's conference in Austin last week, and that was the first time having our new staff go, so that was great. We took home 3 awards for some campaigns and advertising that we've done this past year, so we're really proud of that, but we're also glad to be back because we feel like life just moves so fast, especially in Nacogdoches lately, and so we're catching up this week and getting back into the swing of things. I did want to make sure everyone is aware of the museum on Main Street that's happening in San Augustine, just down the road from us. This is a Smithsonian mobile museum, and it's hosted by the Texas Historical Commission as well as San Augustine Main Street, and I want to say there's one other host besides the Smithsonian, but I can't remember it at the moment, but I highly recommend you all go visit it. It's open until October 6th, during the week, and all of the hours are on the San Augustine Main Street Facebook page. We do have an exhibit there that was put together by our amazing historic sites manager, Veronica Amo. It's an exhibit on the New Orleans Greys. If y'all remember, we had a reenactment a few years ago. So this has photos from the reenactment, some letters that have been preserved, and a uniform mock-up. So it looks really great among the other exhibits that are there from other destinations in our area. So we're really excited for San Augustine to have this, and it's just about 45 minutes, so not a bad drive. I would say bring your friends and spend an afternoon in San Augustine. I wanted to talk about the Old Town Rigdown, which is coming up in, goodness, like 2 weeks, I think. This year is flying by. It's September 13th and 14th, and it's going to be in downtown Nacogdoches. If you've been living under a rock and are not aware of it, we're going to have 150 big rigs in downtown on the brick streets without their trailers, so don't worry about that. But there will be 2 nights of concerts. We're going to have Neil McCoy and Randy Hauser, and there's one other, Tony Justice. And so we're also going to have some smaller concerts on the backstage of the CBB. So that's going to be a really big weekend. If your route is along Main Street, just make sure you choose an alternate route that weekend because it's going to be very busy downtown, but we're really excited about it and excited about the impact that it's going to have on our community. They always donate a large amount of money to various Nacogdoches organizations, so we're just really grateful for them bringing this event to Nacogdoches and bringing people here from all over the country. We are starting to prepare for Christmas. So I've been saying for a while that I really would love to see Nacogdoches become a Christmas destination again. And it's nice to see that other organizations are feeling that as well. The Main Street is planning to really enhance the Christmas lighting again this year in downtown Nacogdoches, and the CBB board will be supporting that as well with a few new little Christmas decorations. So get ready for a gorgeous holiday season in downtown Nacogdoches. We did get word that the parade route will go back to the original route this year, now that the construction is no longer an issue. So just wanted everyone to have that in their mind as they go into planning, and be sure to invite all of your family and friends to Nacogdoches and tell them all about our Hallmark Christmas that we have here. I did want to make sure everybody knows that Knack Snack Fridays will be returning in September. So that's the fourth Friday of every month. We will have food trucks around the downtown square from about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. or whenever they sell out. And we'll be coordinating with like Wassail Fest to kind of expand on Knack Snack Fridays for some special days. So that'll be a lot of fun. And last but not least, I wanted to let everyone know that in September, on every Saturday at 11 a.m., there will be free mural tours. It will be a walking tour led by Robert McCandless, who is one of the founders of the Brushing Up Knack Committee. I approached him about this, and he was super interested. He's doing it for free. He's just going to guide visitors and locals around to the murals that are downtown. It'll be about an hour, and you'll end up back at the CVB for lunchtime, and you can go eat at one of our lovely downtown restaurants. I'm hoping that this catches on, and it's something that we can have all the time. I know that we've gotten away from having tours just due to COVID and various other things, but I would love to have tours again. So if anybody is interested in giving tours like this, especially on Sundays, we could really use somebody to give tours on Sundays. Let me know, and we can definitely work something out. And I think that's all I have for now, but I'm grateful to be on this call with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. That was a lot of good information, a lot of call to action. So thank you for everything that you provide us who live in Nacogdoches, have the privilege as well as those visiting. Thank you. So Kevin Meyer with the City of Nacogdoches did give us information in the chat. I won't say this as well as I'm sure he would have, but for the sake of the recording, I would like to run through this. So Splashadoches will close for the season on September 3rd. Fitness in the Park series every Thursday in September at 6 p.m. in Pecan Park. That series will include yoga, Zumba, Tai Chi, and bodyweight fitness classes. Dia de los Muertos vendor and performer sign up is open now, and the event is Saturday, November 2nd, also in our beautiful historic downtown district. Thank you, Kevin, for that information. We really appreciate you being on the call. Okay, let's move into our regional representation report. So we have a couple of members of our Workforce Solutions Deep East Texas. I believe the director, Mark Durand, is going to be able to give us a report today from that organization.
Good morning. Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Just want to give you a few updates. And one is we did receive our labor data for July of 2024. Our Deep East Texas region, of course, covers 12 counties, and that labor market unemployment rate is 5.4%. For Nacogdoches County, we did see a slight drop from June to July. In June, we were at 5.1. July, we dropped down to 5.0. Mainly that was due to a little bit higher number of employees that were working. We had over 27,000 that were working, but the city, we did see a slight increase in that is at 5.6. This is also an increase from 2023. You know, that's not really surprising because, you know, a lot of students in Nacogdoches that go to SFA are coming back from from the breaks, and they'll be going back to work. So we'll see that number usually decrease as we get into our August and September numbers there. Also, we wanted to tell you a few events that we have coming up, especially there in Nacogdoches. One is our Red, White, and You, which is geared toward the veterans and their families, but it's open to all job seekers. We're in the planning stages right now. I know Emily Harmon is on there, and she's one of the instrumental in planning this. But we are planning November the 7th. It would be from 10 to 2. It'll be at the C.L. Simon Recreation Center there in Nacogdoches. So for any employers, if I know there's a big labor shortage right now, a lot of job openings. If you're interested in having a booth, all of those are free, and we would welcome you to participate. But that's again November the 7th. I know Emily will be providing more information as that date comes closer. We also do have a Your Path to Success that we're partnering with several community agencies. We're going to have that on September the 18th It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be at Stephen F. Austin at the Baker Patilio Center. But that is really, it's geared toward individuals with disabilities. And, this has been one of our focus on the workforce areas as we see the labor shortages of really two groups that are probably really need to focus on is those individuals with disabilities, and also our reentry, those second chance individuals, as we see so many job openings and the lack of labor force to fill those positions. So I know Emily attended a conference, I guess a couple of weeks ago there in Austin, and she got some really good ideas. So if anyone's interested in possibly giving individuals a second chance in employment, reach out to Emily. If you would, Emily, put your info in the chat box for that. And then lastly is we have we had a grant. It's called the Tri-Agency Regional Convener Grant, and that is for, we have so many entities that do very similar things, but sometimes we just need to consolidate those efforts so that we can be, I guess, more structured and not duplicate services. And so we applied for a grant. We received that. We're in the planning stages right now, but it's really built. The Tri-Agency is your higher ed, your secondary education, and your workforce. And so one of the keys is how do we meet the needs of our industry as we move forward? And so it's really a roundtable discussion that we're going to be having. And I'll get Emily to send that flyer there. But we have 4 different meetings that are coming up in September, October, and November. We have one that's going to be September the 16th. It's going to be at the Pitcher Garrison Convention Center here in Lufkin. And it is from 9:30 to 11:30. We're partnering with the SFA CARRI to do that. But we want to get as many industry stakeholders or community partners together and talk about what are the needs. We hear a lot of times about employability skills. We've been hearing from the job seekers of what they're looking at, but getting us all at the table and just kind of discussing how do we meet the needs of our Deep East Texas region. Okay, Emily, anything to add to any of those?
No, sir, I think you covered it all. We're excited to partner, and I have the flyer. I'm trying to figure out how to attach it to the chat. I'm still new to the go-to meetings, but if you would like the flyer, I did put my email in the chat, so feel free to reach out to me for that flyer for the Jobs and Education Forums, as well as that resource fair that Mark highlighted happening, and any questions about hiring Red, White, and U. We are still very much in the beginning planning stages. We have our first planning meeting this afternoon, but working on getting a flyer for that, and I'll let you guys know the details when they come to me. So.
And Kelly, I would just mention is Emily's a wealth of information on the reentry of individuals and back into the workplace, and for you as employers, there are opportunities of tax credits that's available to you, different other things that you can take advantage of through the workforce. So please reach out to us, because I know that is kind of a growing population there. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you, Kelly, for always allowing us to give a report.
Oh, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anyone have any questions for Mark, Emily, Karen? Thank you guys for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
All right, well, I know our the president and CEO of Nacogdoches Area United Way is not able to join us today. She is traveling. And one thing I would have to mention in her absence is the campaign kickoff that is planned for September the 10th. It is Boots and Burgers at Bonita, and that's Bonita Creek Hall. And it's going to be a fun time. I believe it starts at 5:30, and along with the burgers, maybe there will be some boot scooting. I don't know, but I guarantee it'll be a good time. So please check in with United Way if you're interested in that. I noticed a lot of information being shared in our chat box today. I'm going to do my best to get that copied and included in the recording description as text. So hopefully that will be available to anyone that comes back to see this particular call. All right, I don't see Anita Scott with the Civic Center, and any other normal reporters we would have giving their updates. Did anyone have a special announcement they would like to make at this time? Well, all right. I know we are doing a lot in Nacogdoches this week. I look forward to all of the good things coming up, including our chamber activities. So we are getting ready for our 102nd annual meeting and membership banquet. It will be held September 24th at the Fredonia Hotel and Convention Center. We have a wonderful list of award recipients that will be recognized there, as well as the induction of our new board of directors. So please, if you don't already have a table or a seat at this event, get with us pronto because it is filling up. There's other things happening before that, and I don't want anyone to miss our September Alive After 5. It's coming up quick. I believe it's the September 5th date, the first Thursday in September, hosted by Axley and Rhodey. They are celebrating their 75th anniversary. So be at the Nacogdoches location of Axley and Rhodey on September 5th at 5:30 for that Alive After 5. And we'll have more good things listed on our calendar at nacogdoches.org. Please check it out. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate all the work you're doing. Thank you, Jeff. And with that, I'll wish us all a prosperous week ahead. Goodbye.
Thank you.